Okay, good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Before I start my speech, I will ask you a question. What you concern the most? The money, the position, the knowledge, or friendship, or health? If you ask me the question, my answer is health. If I don't have health, I don't have anything. So my speech topic is this really healthy? I think in everyone's mind, you must have heard the slogan, keep early hours. No matter where you heard it from, they must have told you that if you keep early hours, you will have your health, you will be healthier. They are even mentioned in the ancient Chinese scripture. However, in the ancient Chinese scripture, they mention that the early in keep early hours means 出更 in Chinese, and if that in Chinese means 二更, but you merely forgot an important concept that 出更 is referring to 7 o'clock at night, and 二更 is also referring to 9 p.m. But for modern people, 7 p.m. and 9 p.m. are too early. It is completely impossible for us to sleep early. So, what will you do? You can sleep early, but you can also sleep too late. There is another concept in your mind, to wake up early and do exercises. Some of you might think wake up early and do exercise will have good to your health. But in fact, they may not have benefits to your health. For example, some of your grandparents wake up at about 4 or 5 o'clock and do exercises in the park. Sometimes they even don't sleep early, but they still set the alarm clock in the early time. But in their minds, they must think this behavior has related to their health. Nevertheless, things are not like what they thought. In fact, the early morning has the lowest temperature during the day. It is because the early morning is after the long period of the night, and the sun has just risen. But during the night, there are no other manners to provide the heat. So the temperature got colder, and colder. So it is not a proper time to go out in the early time, especially for our older members in our family. There is still another concept that you have to sleep for enough time. I think everyone has known it for a long time, but the problem is we don't have enough time to sleep. But maybe we can make our weekends more useful. We can sleep more during the weekend. But in this condition, our parents must think, why we are so lazy and sleep all day during the weekend, and rather to do the meaningful things. But we always think they are not always right, so we should always ignore what they thought. And before I finish my speech, I have the responsibility to remind you again. First, don't stay up late. Keep early time. And second, not to go out in the early morning, especially for the elder members in the family. Third, sleep for enough time. I hope all of you have your life healthier. Back to TNE.